Hey everyone, welcome back to Juice Bros Pickleball Podcast. I'm Davin, and this is where my doubles partner Adrian and I talk about the games, tournaments, and everything we're learning along the way in pickleball. So today we're going to talk about pickleball tournaments, why players should try them, and what to expect if you're thinking about entering your first one. So Adrian, before we dive into it, what do you remember most about your first tournament experience?
Ooh, yeah. I remember being super nervous, and I think I slept an hour the night before my first tournament, so I was running on fumes. So there's that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So must be a lot of nerves, right?
Yeah, I was nervous. Ask my cousin. We were both nervous.
Oh, right. That is.
Yeah.
That is your first tournament.
My first tournament was with my cousin. What was your first tournament? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was the Richmond Green one, outdoor
the outdoor thing.
First mix tournament, I think. Yeah, that was fun and nerve-wracking because yet it's outdoors and it's not on a properly paved court. It's really on a parking lot with lines at Richmond Green. Yeah, there's a lot of nerves going in. And also it's like, I think it's a 2-5 and under tournament. So it's really my first tournament going in. And, a TLDR is that we got gold.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. That also adds to the fun of it. And I think that's what we want to try to get into. Like, what's the difference sort of between playing tournaments and just playing recreational, and why kind of people should do tournaments to kind of level up, kind of test your skills, right? Testing your game under pressure, seeing how your skills would hold up.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just jump into a little bit of my background.
Yeah.
So I played competitive baseball for many years, maybe like 15 years. And then I stopped. And then I was like, I enjoy competing. So tournaments are a way to just get that competition, that itch for competition again. And so it's just, I love competing, and it's just, it's fun to test yourself, and winning's fun too, obviously, but you don't always win.
Yeah.
So.
And for me, like growing up, I never played any sports. Nothing. I'm afraid of competition. And it's like I never got into any sports, like no badminton, no racket sports. Played like rec basketball. But when I was older, I played a little badminton, but never as in like a tournament. So pickleball is my very first going into the competitive scene. And it was nerve-wracking and exhilarating, I have to say. Exhilarating is I never knew I had that fire in me to compete, to really like, let's go, do another point, or the emotional turmoil of losing. It's exciting. It's just up and down. It's a roller coaster, I'd say. Yeah. And I think it also exposes a lot as a player playing in tournaments faster.
And as a person.
Right, as a person, or any sport, compared to just playing recreational, because, you are now playing for something, playing for the points actually matters. You don't laugh it off. It's like points matters. And at the end of it, hopefully, of course, coming out, getting a gold medal.
In rec, you have do-overs. You can be like, all right, we'll just play another game.
Right.
But in tournaments, you don't get a rematch. You just kind of play it out, and if you lose, that's the result. If you win, that's the result. It's kind of do or die. And yeah, and you're paying. So usually you want to get something out of it. We're not professionals. We don't get paid to play. You pay to play.
Exactly.
So you usually want to get something out of it. You want to get some value.
Yeah, a lot like tournaments nowadays cost quite a bit of money, right? So you really want to go into the tournament ready, dialed in, and try to win it. So comparatively to rec game, again, as you said, I'll just laugh it off. Like, oh, someone made a silly mistake. I'm going to laugh it off. But in a tournament, I don't know. I'm not going to laugh it off. It's probably
You're also responsible to your partner too, because your partner also paid. So you want a good experience. So while you want to win, there's also a mindset portion of having a good experience, because even if you lose every game, you still want to leave having a decent experience.
Yeah. So why do you think tournaments really improve faster than just playing rec every day? Like, how when we started playing pickleball, we played every day, nonstop, like hours and hours. But how come tournament would get you improving faster?
Yeah. So first of all, it puts you under pressure.
Okay.
And that's usually where your skills are tested. Your everything, every minute detail gets exposed. Your strategy gets exposed. Your mental gets exposed. Like, I think it brings out either sometimes the best and sometimes the worst in people.
Okay.
Sometimes people show their worst sides in tournaments, because that's when They're all nervous. They maybe less filtered. Like your mental toughness really gets tested. As we've both been through, I've had experience playing baseball tournaments growing up. So, and especially as a pitcher, it's usually one-on-one. You're very like locked in, but sometimes you're not locked in. Sometimes you're not doing well, and you still have to be responsible to help your team win. And I'm sure as you've learned, like, you're like, I don't want to let my partner down. It's very challenging mentally. So I like to say tournaments are 90% mental and 10% skill.
That's fair. But wouldn't, like, say if you organize a rec game, could you mimic that pressure play in rec play if like all four players are down?
You can,
but what's the difference?
Can definitely try.
Like, exactly. Let's say get 4 high-level players and get that dialed in game.
Get some money on the line.
I guess so. I think it's something at stake, right?
Exactly.
Like at a tournament, you paid, there's a medal on the line and all that.
You traveled, you drove,
sometimes
whatever it is. Got to wake up early sometimes.
Yeah. And I think also one of the factors is also that, say you're getting a group in, you know those people, right? Like, you know their style sometimes if you play with them a lot, or they know your style. So it gets a lot of rallies, right? Back and forth, because like, okay, you're figuring it out, right? But in tournaments, the other team, sometimes it's not your friends that you're playing.
A lot of times it's just strangers.
It's just strangers. And I think that's a huge difference. You're using that first game, like let's say in a round robin, to figure out the other team. So it puts you in the pressure that, okay, no, I'm down like 0-5 right now. What's their weakness, right? Or what am I testing? So it actually adds that pressure, as you mentioned. It's more figuring out, but then you also have to balance like, okay, now I have to make that shot. So it's a lot of pieces. It's a chess game in that tournament setting, right? So there's a strategic stuff to do and so that, but it's within that 11 or 15 point game that you have to figure all those out. And you might not get a chance. If you lose, you might not get another chance.
It happens real quick. Next thing you know, the game's over. You're like, what?
Yeah. So would you recommend tournaments to someone just like, okay, I'm just a rec player, but would you recommend someone trying a tournament per se?
I think honestly, tournaments are an amazing experience. You meet so many people. A lot of the people I've met are from tournaments because a lot of times you're playing in your own circles, you have your friends, but then you meet people from across the city. I've met so many people from Mississauga per se, like so many amazing people from Mississauga and West End and East End, like everywhere, just from playing tournaments. So even from out of province, out of different countries, you never know where you're going to meet someone.
Yeah, and we have a lot of US players coming, right, to join Canadian tournaments too. Like, that's huge. And you're right, like meeting different people. If I've only played in East End, Markham, I never would know that. Oh my God, there's so many great players in West, North. So yeah, tournaments are a great way to meet people and even like expand your circle of being included in games, invites.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
Yeah, like if you do well, people start inviting you. They're like, hey, they get your number.
Yeah, because again, players want to play better players, and that's how we all improve.
And if they like your vibe, even if you don't win, if they like your vibe on court, they'll call you in just to have some fun.
Yeah.
That's even better. Sometimes they'll be like, why are they laughing in tournaments?
Yeah, why do they talk so much? You know, why? Why are they shouting out people at the beginning of their video? Yeah, why? Sometimes these are the things that calms myself down, right? To do that shout outs. It literally adds to the ritual, as we talked about previously.
It's a routine.
It's a routine that we do. Sort of superstitious, I would say, little stitious.
I'm very stitious.
Yeah, very stitious. Actually, me too. I feel like if I don't do that, it kind of like bothers me, so it affects my game. Yeah. That's me.
So let's get into like after you sign up for your first tournament.
Right.
What do you expect?
Yeah, so there's different formats, different types of tournaments. There's side-out scoring, rally scoring, and then, you know, once you get started, round-robin pools, right? Brackets. I think a great way to really prep yourself going your first tournament is kind of know the format you're getting into. Before the tournament, if you get any practice games in, then you can mimic that format. I remember when we did team play and it's rally scoring, that's a totally different style of scoring because every point matters now. So you're really careful on your serves, you're really careful hacking balls because every point matters. And that usually one player would stick on the left side because it comes out depending on your score. If it's odd or even, that person would serve and you don't switch left or right. So you're staying on the left side or staying on the right side. So that really matters. Because if you're always playing as a right side player with your doubles partner in rec, then now, what if you have to play left? Then you have to get a lot used to it.
Yeah, it changes the strategy completely. But I guess for us, like usually what's our formats that we usually play?
Yeah, usually it's all side out scoring because rally scoring is a little rare. Usually in a big team format, an MLP, MLLP format. But usually in tournaments, we joined is round robin pools, and it goes up to 15 in the round robin matches. And then usually, depending on how the tournament is, there's 2 timeouts per side, per team. 2 1-minute timeouts. Anything?
Yeah, like I'd recommend getting familiar with it because you're going to be nervous, especially for your first tournament. I don't care how emotionless you are, you will be nervous. If you're paying to play in a tournament, you will be nervous because you're like, I don't want to waste my money.
Exactly.
Even someone as experienced growing up playing competitive sports, I still get nervous every tournament.
Yeah.
And it's not always a bad thing. Like, you just got to accept it. But knowing formats and rules beforehand takes a lot of the overthinking out of just playing. You just want to clear your mind.
Yeah, you want to clear your mind in your first round. Just play pickleball like that. Don't even think about, you don't need to like, how many timeouts do I have? Like how many minutes or switch sides at 8. I remember what surprised me the most about is switching sides at 8 or 6, because if it's up to 11, switch sides at 6. If it's up to 15, switch sides at 8. I remember not switching sides. I think it was the first 3-0 tournament and just forgot because like it was intense and everybody was nervous. No one switched sides up until like, it was at 12. And then remember, we have to switch sides. But I think that was too late. And everyone's like, okay, just play it off. But it does make a huge difference.
Sometimes there's a side
sometimes like the venue itself, right?
Sight lines,
the wall, where the wall is, where the fence is. Because if you have an audience, if you have fans, an audience, and you're looking there, sometimes it's distracting. So you want to switch side to like, okay, whoever gets A, switch sides, and then you get the good side. Then it actually plays to your favor sometimes. You might want to consider like, you want to end on the good side so that the last 7-8 points, it's a smooth sailing. You don't have to think about not being able to see the ball or distraction of people walking around. So that surprised me. How about you? What surprised me when you played your first format?
I guess just figuring out where everything is. So usually check-in procedures, things like that. Like, what do I do? What do I do when I walk in the door? Because it's going to be the first tournament, being the noob. So you're like, who do I talk to? Do I talk to anyone? I'm antisocial. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to show up. But usually also, check in.
Yeah. And I think big thing is wait time between the matches, especially when you don't have enough courts in a venue that they run the tournaments. I remember one of our tournaments, we waited an hour.
Between each game.
No, you get off a game, your first game, and you have to wait an hour and a half. You're all cold. I think knowing the rules, like kitchen line, I think some of the thing is because there's no ref. Usually there's no ref in the round robins, so you have to really call out the kick faults and everything.
Not everyone has perfect eyesight. So
exactly, and there's a lot of controversy of calling balls out, right? And arguing about it, but it's usually the other teams say into it, right? If you hit a ball and it seamed in and they called it out, the other team, it's their call. We've seen people argue and get a ref in that. But again, personally, I think, you know what? Brush it off, shake it off, and just play the next point, well.
Yeah, it's out of your control, honestly.
It is out of your control because there's no referee. Even if there was a referee, they might not be able to see it. So they'll stick with the out call and then, okay, so what do? You're frustrated. So I would say, personally, advice to just, okay, whatever, shake it off, talk to your partner. Okay, next one, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we do to each other too.
Yep.
So yeah.
And I think it's important, especially on your first tournament, because you're going to be nervous, to try and have fun.
Yeah.
You're in this to have fun, have a good experience. I don't know if it works for everyone. Sometimes just being like, all right, worst case scenario, we lose every game, but I'm going to have fun losing every game.
Exactly.
It's not always the best mindset.
It's not ideal.
But sometimes it works because it's like, hey, it's pickleball. There are worse things to happen to you in the world. Worst case scenario, I lose every game, but if I'm going to lose every game, I'm going to have fun doing it.
Yeah, I think when we're not doing well in a tournament, and by like round 2, round 3, we kind of like laugh it out. Oh well, we're just gonna have fun now.
We're
We
gonna
actually
play
do
for
better.
ego.
Yeah, and yeah, it's for ego, and we actually do better.
And
We actually win
pride.
that like last round soaringly.
Yeah,
it's
we
crazy.
sometimes destroy the last round against a
Yeah.
team that we probably shouldn't be beating.
Yeah, and then because we're just adding fun, we're like, okay. And I
Relaxed.
remember I used to say like, okay, you know what? Let's just play like rec.
Yeah.
Because during rec, again, why tournaments are really different is that rec, there's no stress. Shouldn't be any stress because you're really having fun in rec, right? You're testing stuff, you're having fun with your friends. So for me to say that, okay, let's play like rec, I'm just reminding myself I should just have fun, It's just pickleball, right? Not losing anything, it's just losing a match. And I'm glad I'm playing pickleball, so let's want to have fun with it.
Yep. Might as well have fun. That's the most important thing. A lot of people, especially in your first tournament, forget that fact.
Exactly. And they get stressed and everybody's tilted and just makes the whole experience actually makes the whole tournament experience not well. Especially if it's first time partners, make some mistakes, you go to a tournament, and that's how long partnerships develop, right? You do your first tournament, okay, you know what? Just play it out. Doesn't go well, oh well, then get together, be honest with each other, like, mistakes, what's improving or what's done well between them. But maybe everybody needs to work on their shots, but their communication between you two is amazing.
Yeah.
So work on
Learn
that,
the vibes.
highlight that.
Just
Yeah,
there
the vibes
for
was great.
Vibes.
Vibes, right? Yeah, which is great. And then the only thing you guys maybe need to work on is shots. Add some drills in, play a little bit more, focus that on rec game, play just this particular shot, and work on it, and enter a second tournament. Keep doing it. Don't give up.
Yep, keep at it.
Yeah, like we have ours ups and downs. Like we don't win every tournament, of course. But when we win it, we're like, yes, it's a great win because we won it together.
Yeah.
We're going to split this as a part 2 series because tournaments are very long. Our last topic, a good one, is common first tournament mistakes. For example, like not warming up properly.
Sleeping the night before.
Exactly. Yeah. Why not warming up properly? I would say is because a lot of times there's no free courts, right?
That's true.
And when there's a free court, it's already your first match. And if it's your first game, usually it's 5-minute warm up, and then every other game is 2-minute warm up. So a 5-minute warm up is not enough.
Yeah,
I would say to get your body warm,
do
get
some
everything, your
stretches.
shots. So let me ask you, Adrian, in 5 minutes, what's a good warm up that you can get your mind into?
Actually, even before we get to that, I have my pre-tournament routine.
Okay.
I have a whole routine.
Okay.
As I said, I'm very stitious.
Yeah.
I have a playlist where I have my favorite songs, my favorite hype songs that I listen to. This playlist is the perfect amount of time for driving to a tournament.
Nice.
My playlist, it's very specific. It's around 30 minutes. Because that's usually the amount of time it takes to drive to a tournament. And so I listen to that playlist and I'm just jamming out. Sometimes when I even get to the venue, I'm going to keep jamming out in my car for a couple minutes and kind of center myself, get a little focused, but also jam out because why not? And yeah, so my pre-tournament routine is usually that use the washroom. Don't forget to use the washroom.
That's very important.
Because I'm usually nervous, especially on my first tournament, I was very nervous. I just went to the washroom, just dry heaved, and I was like so nervous. I was like, oh, you wouldn't even know. But yeah, so try and get the nerves out. Do whatever you gotta do within reason.
Yeah, and
yeah,
routine is really good. Like my pre-tournament routine was a Tim Hortons chocolate chip muffin. That was my routine. Like I have to have it every tournament because, again, superstitious and all that. Now a little different, but yeah, before that it was that muffin. And I think I try not to listen to anything pickleball related during the day of the tournament or even like the night before. I remember I did it once and it got me thinking a lot more.
Messed up your game?
Yeah, messed up my game and maybe just all of a sudden trying this new thing I saw.
I've done that.
Which is horrible. I think as you said, you having a playlist that's not pickleball related, having your own vibe, having tunes, like tune into that, tune out the pickleball, first, and then coming back in the game, I think it really helps.
One thing with my playlist, it's a mix of hype songs and maybe one or two more calmer songs because you can't get too hyped. If you get too hyped, you're going to be like jittery.
Yeah.
So you gotta have a balance.
Yeah. You gotta calm those nerves. Hype those nerves and calm those nerves.
Yep.
Right?
Get ready for that roller coaster by having the roller coaster in the car.
Yeah. And one of the things I do is I wear a Apple Watch, and I usually take off my watch is because like a lot of times it vibrates because of notifications and stuff, and it's the worst. Like if you're hitting like, let's say a 2E, and for me, watch vibrates, my gosh.
Anxiety.
It hits. Like it's either I'm thinking, who's messaging me at that time, or what's going on? Is there an emergency? And I'm not making that shot. So I tend to like just remove all that distraction, leave it in my bag, and just focusing on the game. I think
I know some people who have headphones, they just put in their headphones while they're warming up just to get in the zone.
Yeah, just to get in the zone.
If it works for you.
To dial out the noise, right? Yeah. Also, like the crowd, because it does get crowded. So, and there's a lot of things going on. A lot of people screaming, you know, if they start first their bracket, there's a lot of screaming if they win a point. So it might affect your shot, right? Or warming up. So, and yeah, tune it out. So warm up routine, let's get into. For me, what really works is, of course, soft game, start with the cooperative thinking. I think to just warm that soft game up. If it's short on time, I would do hands, like back and forth, volley hands.
Get the eyes warmed up.
Get the eyes warmed up. And maybe if there's a little bit more time, play a point or two out. Like a short 7-11
like skinny
game.
Singles,
Skinny singles. I think that really helps because it adds a little bit of pressure so that you're ready for that. Your first game, you don't know that pressure and your nerves are here. That skinny singles or the kitchen game or 7-11 really helps to dial in, okay, all right, I'm making those shots. I'm making a third shot drop. I'm making a third shot drive. Exactly. Get up to the net, right? Move your muscles. Warm up those legs. I think that really helps. That's for me. Anything different?
Definitely hands.
Right?
For me, I think it's really important to get the eyes warmed up because especially with hands, like fast moving object, gotta track the ball, especially when you're coming in cold. Like even if you don't have time, get the eyes warm and hopefully the rest will follow.
Yeah. Because like tracking, like especially if the tournament is bright and early at 8 a.m.
You're half asleep.
So yeah, that warming up your eyes, tracking the ball is really important.
Especially early in the morning, stretch your legs. Because you will be tired probably.
Yeah.
If you're anything like me.
So last but not least, like if someone is thinking about playing their first tournament, what one advice you would give them? Like one advice.
Probably have fun. And
have fun, right?
It is cliche, but it's also very difficult. It's not as easy as you might think. Obviously, everyone's like say have fun, but when the pressure's on, it's very difficult to have fun because things are happening. Points are happening, you're tight, you're stressed, you have your partner, you're dealing with two other people on the other court, they might be maniacs, they might be screaming in your face after every point. There's a lot going on, but try to remember you control what you can and just to have fun. Have a good experience, be a good partner, don't be a douchebag. You're like, have some fun, smile, and don't forget to breathe. We have a friend who forgets to breathe sometimes.
Yeah. Exactly. My one advice, be sure to hydrate really well, get those electrolytes in, keep the same routine as you would playing your regular weekly recreational game, right? Don't change anything. Keep it the same.
Try and minimize the variables.
Yeah, minimize the variable. Because again, you might be playing with a new partner, first time tournament. So you want to get the other stuff as routine as possible and the new things you want to add. Like first tournament, new partner, like that. So that's it for this episode of Juice Bros Pickleballs. If you enjoyed the conversation, be sure to like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And let us know in the comments, have you played in a pickleball tournament yet? So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you next time.